because we're going there.
Yeah.
Right. Producers using loops.
I knew we were going to. I knew we'd end up here. It does this, and then we end up at it.
How do you feel, bro? Are you one of those Nazis that'll be like, nah, bro, if you ain't playing it, if you ain't punching it in,
it ain't real.
Get that out of here, dog. Or you like, yo, bro, this is off, hip hop is off sampling. So there's nothing wrong with doing it. Where do you stand, bro?
I'm more towards that, to be honest.
Really?
I am. You know, I have that thing where I'm like, I believe understand it. Understand how, if you're going to use a loop, understand how the loop got to where it got to.
Okay.
So that you can manipulate it even further.
Yeah.
But this is how it was. Back in the day, they were being chastised for the same thing. They were like, but that song already exists. You can't just chop out 2 seconds and then add it. People were doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the exact same thing is happening now. I can't do the same thing people were doing to us. I'm not that old, but the people were doing to those people back then. So I kind of have to let it live. But at the same time, I see what it does to the genre itself. It makes the genre less, there's less room for nuance. Because if I'm sitting there and I'm plotting the kicks myself, and I'm plotting the claps myself, I've got more chance of human error. And human error leads to creativity, I believe. And that creativity then leads to the sound. That then leads to the next thing. I'm sure for a Timbaland, who probably didn't have the bass line, he's like, let me hum it myself. You know? He was able to, now it's too easy. I'll just go get the Timbaland sounding bass line off of wherever and then plonk it over there. And we end up there. And it's not the first time, actually. I don't know if you've heard of EJ.
EJ with the rapper?
No, man. No. Not EJ the rapper.
Oh.
EJ the program.
No.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it stood for electronic DJ or whatever, but it was a tile-based program where you'd have a normal screen.
Oh, shit.
And
I think I remember. Yeah.
You'd pull the drum.
Yeah.
And then you would pull the whatever. You can change the tempo. It would automatically change it.
Oh, those type of programs.
Yeah,
you just basically arranging.
You're arranging, yeah. So that's what's happening now. These producers who are producing are effectively arranging with a few tweaks here and there.
Yeah.
So if that was happening back then, and then that started to sound a bit cheap, it sounded terrible. The beat sounded horrible.
I remember when I started making beats, that's what I did.
Just arranging, you know, and you're like, no, it's dope. Even when we sit down and we have our sessions and we're listening to other producers produce, I'm like, there's no way you started making beats 3 months ago and you understand how LFOs work. You understand how pitch shift works. You understand how, you know, the reversing of the sample and things that took me such a long time to learn.
Yeah.
There's no way you know all of the stuff now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I know it, but it doesn't really matter. Because the person who's walking past will be like, man, that sounds hard, man. I'm going to follow them.
But it's so crazy, right? Producers should actually go back. You mentioned Timbaland. Timbaland sampled, Doug.
A lot.
Yeah, Big Pimping.
Bro, all of his big tracks, name any of them.
Yeah, but he would take a teaspoon, click it in, microphone. So kind of my sort of view on it is kind of use both.
There's appreciation for the art. Sampling is an art. We understand that.
Yeah.
Then being able to take that sampling and then bring in your own elements. Bring in baby sounds, bring in frogs, bring in all that stuff that he did for all of his tracks. Because then you make, not only do you make hits, I want to say something controversial. Not only do you make hits, but you make hits that are going to last a long time. Which then brings me to the next point, TikTok.
Okay,
and these challenges that have come about.
Okay, let's talk about it because I can already sense that me and you are on opposite sides of the fence, right?
So with